Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Unboxing for you. Yep, it's baby wipes. Gonna unbox some baby wipes. Just kidding, it's books. So a little backstory with these books is that I went through every single shelf, all 7 of my shelves, and got rid of all the books that didn't bring me joy. Unfortunately, you only got to see 3 of them because my memory card wouldn't hold them or something, I don't know. Anyways, I lost most of the footage. But around that time, a few weeks back, my friend Michael went through her books and she sent me pictures and I picked the ones that sounded really good. So those are these books, but if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't remember what's in there. So we're going to find out together. Since we're doing an unboxing, I've gone book shopping twice this month. The first time was just trading books from last month, and this most recent time I spent $14 on books. But I thought, why not haul them? So we're going to start with my purse. And I got Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Don't know much about this other than I think it's mystery crime with a podcast element. It's like YA. Okay, this book is one that I've gone back and forth about. Do I want to read it? No, I don't want to read it. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. So I found it at the thrift store for $1, and I was like, you know what? I'll buy the first in the series. If I like the first one, I'll get the rest of the series. If I don't, no harm done. And that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It's a retelling of Cinderella, but I believe that Cinderella is like a robot type. I haven't had good luck with retellings this year though. So Hunted was really good by Megan Spooner. That's the only one I've liked this year. So hopefully that's number 2. Then I bought Little Fires Everywhere. If I could speak. Little Fires Everywhere by Celestine. I honestly don't know anything about this other than it's very hyped on BookTube, or at least it was when it first came out. And I keep saying that I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to buy books just because other people say I should read them or just because they're really hyped. But yet again, I fell into the trap. Then there is A Dog's Life by Anne M. Martin. It's about a dog. I can't tell you any more than that. It might be for a challenge in 2021. It is. Then there's The One and Only Ivan, which is about a gorilla. Can't tell you anything else though because it's for a challenge too. Alright. Then I believe, okay, that's empty. So let's move on. Let's start with the 2 that fell off. Or fell out of the bag. Okay, so I got this pretty bookmark that I didn't know about. I've already read this book this year. Loved it. Listened to it on audio, so I kind of want to read it with my eyeballs at some point. So I got No Exit by Taylor Adams. 5-star read. Totally recommend it. But it's about this woman who gets snowed in Denver at this rest stop with 4 strangers, and she finds one of the SUVs that's parked there. And she thinks that it's her job to rescue this kid and figure out what's going on. It's very atmospheric, it's very scary, it's amazing. I loved it. This one is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I don't like fluffy contemporaries, so I'm told that Morgan Matson is not too fluffy with her writing. So I'm very excited to get into a contemporary that hopefully won't be fluffy. I don't know. Like Casey West. I either love Casey West's work or I hate it because it's too fluffy. But I'm told that Morgan Matson is not the same type of author. So I was finishing reorganizing my bookshelf, making it pretty again, and putting all my books away. And I came across these, which I bought this month, so they should have been in the haul. But I didn't see them at first. So I've read both of these. I love both of these. I just wanted a copy so I could reread. And who knows, maybe I'll reread them sometime in 2021 to test if I still like what I used to read. Because, spoiler alert, I read Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare this month. I hated it. I hated it. So I thought William Shakespeare was my favorite. Maybe he still is. I still have some more Shakespeare I have to reread or read for the first time to kind of test that theory. But I guess when I first read Romeo and Juliet, it didn't resonate with me that they were only 14 years old. And the whole star-crossed lovers thing sounds amazing, but 14-year-olds insta-love and ends in death. Sorry if you've never read Romeo and Juliet. Spoiler alert will be on the bottom. But I read these back in high school, and I really loved them. So we're gonna see if I still like them. But that is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck and Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This one, in my opinion, is better than this one, but I love them both, so they have to be here. Alright, now back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay. Then, I read my first ever Goosebumps book. It was The Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy. It was really good. Loved it. So I got 2 more R.L. Stine books. The first one is a Goosebumps book, The Girl Who Cried Monster. And this one is The Fear Street Saga, Where the Terror Began, The Betrayal. So this number 1 is Brain on Fire by Susanna Callaghan. It's her life story, and she had medical issues, so I want to read it. So I found Love Letters, Perfect Strangers by Johanna and Malcolm. So this is kind of like enemies. These 2 teenagers are both fighting to be class president, and they have always competed against each other, always like hated each other. And then somehow they start corresponding online, and they fall in love online, only they don't know who the other person is. I'm finally jumping on the bandwagon and gonna read You by Caroline Kepnes. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this book is about by now, but it's about you follow this guy named Joe who meets this girl in a bookstore. And I wish I could remember Beck. He meets Beck at his bookstore, and then he starts like social media stalking her, and then stalking her in real life. But the thing that's really cool about this book, or that I'm assuming is going to be really cool and creepy, is that it's written as if Joe is talking to you. So you turned on the light. I'm watching you through your window. Oh, just creepy. But I can't wait for it. A classic that everyone says you should read. And I know I said I'm not going to keep doing that. But as you can see, I have no self-control. So, I finally got Gone with the Wind. Epic love story, Scarlett O'Hare. So, in a previous video, I said I'm not going to buy any more Stephen King novels because Stephen King is either hit or miss with me. I tend to dislike most of his books, but I really want to love Stephen King because he's such a beloved author and everyone loves him, but not this girl. So this really is probably going to be the last Stephen King novel I buy, but it was only $1 at the thrift store. So I bought The Shining by Stephen King. And, yeah, now I think I have like 5 novels that I need to read of Stephen King. And I never enjoy them. So I don't know why I do this to myself. Well, okay, I do know why. It's because I want to jump on that bandwagon, but I never like them. So this is the last one. You guys have to hold me to it, okay? Another funny one, or 2 more funny ones, because I don't have enough Dean Koontz. I only have like 16 on my shelf that are unread, you know, so why not add a couple more? So The Door to December by Dean Koontz and The Husband by Dean Koontz. We have your wife. You can get her back for $2 million. So that's, yeah, wife gets kidnapped and it's up to her husband to get her back with her huge ransom. Excited. So little Milena gets kidnapped and the police search for her. They don't find her, and now it's like some amount of years later where the police are after her and her mom now. Like her mom, the one that kidnapped her. The reason you're here. My baby wipes. Get into this. My baby wipes. Okay, let's go here. Alright. If I know what they're about, I'll tell you. If not, you know what? We'll just figure out what they're all about. Oh! Okay, The Wedding Party by Jasmine Guillory. If I remember correctly, this is the second in a trilogy, but it's like a romance trilogy that follows different couples each time. But like the first one is The Wedding Date, The Wedding Party. There's a third one. But do you think I can remember what it's called? Of course not. So, yeah, it's just like a fun romance series. Sure. Oh my gosh, guys. This is hilarious. Okay, so, thank you, Michael, for sending me Story of a Girl. But I went to the thrift store and I found Story of a Girl. I knew it sounded really familiar and it sounded really good. So now I have 2 copies. It's Story of a Girl by Sarah Zarr. This is a heartbreaking novel about a 13-year-old girl who gets raped. And then she, somehow at school, they find out that she was, in their eyes, having sex with this guy. And she gets slut-shamed and bullied for being assaulted. And it sounds very heavy, very hard-hitting, but completely up my alley as to what I don't want to say I like reading those, but I've said it a million times on my channel, and I'll say it again. The hard things to read about in life are the things that need to be read. It's kind of like when you're talking to your best friend. Sometimes you have to have those hard conversations with people. And those hard conversations are the ones that you're really scared to go into and everything. But they're the conversations you need to have. Just like reading a book. I feel like the heavier the book, the more nervous you get about it, the harder you think it's going to be to read, the better. Let's go in for another book. Alright, this one is How the Light Gets In by M.J. Hyland. Alright, see, Sex Object, a memoir by Jessica Valentini, I think. So this one was another one of those hard-hitting nonfiction novels. So it kind of explores how society views women and rape and things like that, about how when a woman gets assaulted, she is blamed. People say, you shouldn't have worn a shirt so low cut. Your skirt shouldn't have been so short. If you didn't dress like that, then it wouldn't have happened. And that's completely wrong. The way society looks at things like that, that's just nonsense. Honestly, it should be blamed on the person that took advantage of the woman. It should be, we should stop victim shaming and start actually exploring the real problem, which is the person that did it, not the victim. Let's get to a happier one maybe. Alright. So I actually own a copy of my own of this somewhere. I think it's on my red shelf because I recently read this. Loved it. 5-star read. But it's If I Stay by Gail Forman. So this is about this girl, Mia, who had the perfect life. And then her and her entire family get in this car crash where she's not quite a ghost because she's not really dead yet, but she's having an odd out-of-body experience where she can see everything they're doing to her body and moving her to the hospital, and she can hear everyone that's coming to visit her, but she's not inside her body. She can kind of also roam around the hospital, and you get to learn about her life from the past and about she has to make a choice between going to the light and moving on or staying here on Earth after this major tragedy of this car accident happens. And I just loved it. It wrecked my soul. But let's see what else there is. Alright. Everyone has a number. What's yours? 20 Times a Lady by Karen Boschke. Delilah's magic number was supposed to be 20. She always thought she'd find the perfect guy by the time she'd slept with 20 of them. But when she wakes up naked in her disgusting boss's bed, yes, after a drunken night out, she's filled with regret and realizes she's hit her self-imposed limit, unwilling to let up her number but unable to imagine a life of celibacy. Delilah does what any girl in this situation would do. She tracks down every man she's ever slept with in a last-ditch effort to make it work out with one of them. Okay, so I do remember reading this on Goodreads. It sounded so kind of like a romantic comedy chick flick, but in book form. Alright. Let's see. So I actually grabbed two. So there's Inexcusable by Chris Lynch. And The Proposal. Oh! Okay, The Proposal is either the second or the third one. I'm pretty sure it's the wedding date, the wedding party, and then the proposal, you know. So I'm excited. I've never read like a trilogy like this where it follows the side characters of each one. So it's a different kind of reading experience for me, but I'm excited. Alright, then Inexcusable by Chris Lynch. So it's another, like, assault story. Alright, let's see. There are quite a few more. The Wedding Date. Okay, so we have all three of them. Woo! Alright. Then there is this one. Empty, empty, empty. Sometimes you just want to disappear. Okay, so this video is a lot longer than I thought it would be. So my throat's really dry. Excuse me a moment. Mango Dragon Fruit from Starbucks. It is my go-to refresher. Actually, it's becoming my go-to drink. Bada boom. What is this book? Kiss of Broken Glass by Madeline Kudrick. When nothing stops the hurt but pain. Ooh. It's a poetry book, guys. I love poetry. Like, usually when I get a poetry book, it is the first thing I read. So right now I have 0 unread poetry on my shelf. Haha. I know it's going to be on October's TBR. I mean, seriously. I have a problem. I love poetry. Okay, let's figure out what this poetry book is about, though. It seems kind of like it's going to be about depression, maybe hurting yourself, and suicidal thoughts and depression. Those are my guesses. Let's see. My name is Kenya. My name is Kina. No one ever told the truth about cutting. How scars multiple like freaking rabbits. How cutting turns you into a pathological liar. How getting caught lands you in a psych ward with no way out for 72 hours. But that's exactly what happens. To me, anyways. And I bet you wonder how anyone could ever change in just 3 days in a place like this where everybody's broken. Trust me, I wonder that myself. Oh my god. So I was right. of books off. Alright. That word. Hypnathic girls? I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. Hypnathic girls? I don't know. Leave in the comments below how I pronounce this, because that's not going to happen today. By Lauren Frankel. Let's go. Alright. College Girl by Laura Gray Rosendale. It says it's a memoir. So that probably means that something bad happened. So again, it's another hard thing to get through, read about, talk about. It's just one of those hard topics in life. So, of course, I wanted that book. And then we have Beautiful. I remember this cover. Beautiful by Amy Reed. Look at that cover. Stunning. I love it. There is a picture of me in their heads. A picture of someone I don't know yet. She's not the chubby girl with the braces and bad perm. She's not the girl hiding in the bathroom at recess. She is someone new, a blank slate that they have named Beautiful. That is what I am now. Beautiful. With this new body and face and hair and clothes. Beautiful. With this erasing of history. This is what I am now. When Cassie moves from the tiny town... Oh, yeah. Okay. I do remember. So, Cassie moves from the tiny town to Seattle, Washington. Just so you know, anything that takes place in the Pacific Northwest, I'm predicting will be 5 stars. So there it is, my 5-star prediction for this book. But she moves to Seattle, where she creates the identity. Cassie, she keeps her name, but she creates this different image of herself. And this is her second chance at having friends and not being bullied and having a better life. So I'm very interested to read it. Boom. Crazy by Amy Reed. Oh my gosh. These are by the same author. They kind of match too, don't they? Cool. Okay, Crazy. I think I remember Crazy. Into this book, I think it has something to do with bipolar. That is my prediction. I got way too many books. Okay. This is not a drill. Okay, so I don't even have to read what this one's about. I remember this. So this is not a drill by Beck McDowell. I believe that this is about a school shooting. I don't know anything other than it's about a school shooting. I'm going to be a future teacher. I'm a future teacher. I'm going to school to be a teacher right now. I only have a little bit left. Like a year and a half. I got a while. But, I love anything that has to do with school shootings. Like, again, it's another hard topic. We don't like to talk about it. But unfortunately, it's the reality for too many people. There's this story that happened within the last couple of years about this woman. She was a kindergarten teacher, and she actually hid all of her students in, like, the cupboards, the cabinets, and she was the only one that got shot. She protected her students. She died protecting her students and saving her kids. And like, it's just a sad reality that we live in today. So anything that has to do with that kind of thing, I gravitate towards. I want to learn more about it, and I want to read more about it. Okay, we're almost done. We've only got a couple left, I think. Okay. Thieving Weasels by Billy Taylor. That cover looks really funny. Alright. I just dropped it on the floor. I'll pick it up later. Okay. Becoming Chloe by Catherine Ryan Hyde. I think it's about like a road trip. Right, and then our last one, I believe it's the Edgar Allan Poe. The Essential Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. It's Edgar Allan Poe, people. What else do I need to say? I had checked out Edgar Allan Poe book for one of my literature classes in community college. Absolutely loved every single story in that book. I kind of wish I would have bought it instead of just renting it, but it's okay. Now I have some Edgar Allan Poe of my own to read. If you don't know, Edgar Allan Poe is like a classic author, but he writes mostly like mystery horror, and some of his short stories that I've read already are nightmare-ish. They create nightmares. I cannot wait for it. Thank you for hanging out with me, checking out my unboxing. There's nothing in here that we got it all the books. Yeah, but thanks for doing the unboxing with me and for listening to my haul. Give this video a big thumbs up if you are like me and love unboxings. They're one of my favorite guilty pleasures on BookTube. Okay, let's face it. I watch BookTube too much, and it's not really a guilty pleasure. Everyone knows that I love BookTube. Whether it's making content for BookTube or watching it, I'm a sucker. Okay, but seriously, I dropped it. Seriously dropped that box too. But thank you for hanging out with me. I will catch you guys in the next video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books, please comment down below what you thought. Like, which one's your favorite? Which one didn't you like? Do you think I'll like them? Leave me anything in the comments, really. I just want to talk to you guys.